But this morning, I'm showing Steve how to make gumbo. And I never heard of it till I moved to East Texas, and I never made it. And then when I first started trying to make it, I made a mess. Because the secret of every gumbo is the roux, R-O-U-X. And that is actually brown flour. And you have to, if you're making it on the stove, it takes you about 30 or 45 minutes to brown this. But if you use the microwave, you put 2/3 cup oil, 2/3 cup flour, you brown it about 6 minutes and stir it, and then you just keep turning it on about 30 more seconds until that becomes about that color, or it could be just even a little darker.
This is your roux here.
This is the roux. And what I'm doing now is I've let it cool a little bit, and I'm skimming off the fat. You don't want all this fat and oil in your food, so you skim that off. And our very first step this morning is I took a lot of chicken thighs and just a big bag. We get them down here, a big bag for $4. And so I just took some thighs and legs and boiled them. And what I'm doing now is just peeling off the good parts of this and throwing away fat and little gristle and little bones. Try to get all the little bones out of your gumbo. You don't want all these little veins, things that make it look ugly down in your gumbo. And to make good gumbo, you have to keep your hands real clean because you use your hands a lot. But all I'm doing now is just separating the chicken from the bones. It's already been cooked. The broth that's in the skillet had a little bit of sausage that I added in there. And this also, as you cook, and toward the end before you serve it, you'll still want to also skim fat off of this.
Okay, now in this pot you had boiled the chicken and left the broth, right?
Correct, Then I took 2 or 3, or about 4 stalks of celery and 1 onion and a few green onions, and I sauteed those till they were tender. And then I added that in the pot with the broth. Okay, now my sausage is in there, my broth, my onions, and I'm ready to add my chicken. I'm not going to add all this in here right now because I haven't got it all picked apart, but you can see that the chicken will be in nice pieces down in there. And another secret of your gumbo are your spices. And this was another problem that I had when I was making gumbo, is I couldn't get it seasoned just right. But K-Paul in New Orleans has a new product on the market, and although this says Meat Magic, I really like it better than anything in gumbo. And you put about a tablespoon or more in this pot, and it really makes a difference in the flavor. There's also another little secret to gumbo that I learned from one of the girls here. She adds 1 package of the Lipton dry onion soup mix to the pot, and that really gives it a good flavor. So you've got about 3 varieties of onion in here. Now, I never salt my gumbo till it's completely done because your onion soup mix has some salt in it. And so you don't want to get too much salt. So you let it, after it's simmered for a little while, then you go back and check about your salt. Now see, that fat is still coming to the top of that. You'll never get it all off, and it really doesn't make that much difference. But before you add your this into here, you need to take some of this hot broth and stir it into this roux. And be real careful, let your roux cool a bit, because this stuff just gets unbelievably hot. And just keep stirring it.
Because it's just oil and flour.
It's just oil and flour, and it is really, it stays hot for a long time. You can burn yourself on it. You won't realize how hot it is, but you just kind of want to add a little broth. And I can't do anything left-handed. That was kind of a little messy there, but as you add it, you keep just stirring it into your gumbo. The reason you add that in there is if you just pour that pour that into your gumbo, it kind of makes it lumpy. So you can see now your gumbo kind of has a little bit of a milky color, but as it cooks, it'll turn into more of a clear broth. After a while, it'll be more clear. Right now, it's just, I don't know why when you first add it, it does that color, but it'll turn into a clear, dark broth. And I think that is all the ingredients. Now, the way you serve this, you, excuse me, cook you some rice, and then you pour this a cup or 2 over your rice. You don't want your too much rice in your bowl because you want to enjoy the good broth, but the rice is real filling. Then you add, at last, some gumbo filet on top. And this is ground sassafras, and the Indians used to use this. I don't really know how they used it, but it was an old herb from or I guess sassafras is a root of some sort from down in South Louisiana. Maybe it grows everywhere, I don't know. And it has a thickening effect, so you just want to kind of sprinkle a layer over the top of your gumbo whenever you put it in your bowl. That's just kind of a little extra spice there. And you'll find all these flavors together just give a delicious taste to this meal. Now, this has even a different color now because of those spices, but like I said, as it continues to cook, it'll clear up. It'll make a clear looking. And you don't have to do a thing. You just put a lid on it and just let it simmer for, well, as long as you want to, but at least 30 or 40 minutes. But if you're going to have company and you want to fix it and let it simmer for an hour or two, it doesn't make any difference. The flavor gets better, and even after it's heated over, warmed over, it's even better, I think.
Well, thank you for giving us this today. We appreciate it. Taking time out from your busy schedule.
I expect you to go back and make this for all your friends there in New York now.
Well, turn around and give us a smile.
Oh, I forgot I haven't got my hair combed. I know I'm loving this one.